This car has a built-in perfume dispenser, and while that might sound like a small detail at first, it's actually one of the most fascinating and luxurious features you'll ever encounter in the world of automobiles, because it blends technology, comfort, and personalization in a way that goes far beyond the usual expectations of what a car should offer, making every drive not just a journey but an immersive sensory experience. So let's dive deep into the history, the innovation, the engineering, and the impact of this unique feature that has become a symbol of prestige and sophistication in the modern luxury car market. Because when we think about cars, we often think about horsepower, speed, handling, design, or even cutting-edge infotainment systems, but rarely do we consider the role of scent. Yet scent is one of the most powerful human senses, strongly linked to memory, emotions, and even perception of space. So when automakers began experimenting with the idea of integrating scent dispensers into cars, it wasn't just about making the cabin smell nice. It was about creating a deeply personal atmosphere, reducing stress during long commutes, improving mood, and ultimately redefining what comfort inside a vehicle really means. And while this concept might sound futuristic, its roots can actually be traced back to high-end luxury brands that wanted to differentiate themselves not just by offering speed and technology, but by appealing to all five senses of the driver and passengers, because true luxury is not just seen or heard, it's felt and experienced holistically, which is why companies like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Rolls-Royce, and other top-tier manufacturers started to explore the potential of fragrance systems, engineering them with precision so that they could deliver a subtle yet consistent aroma that would never overwhelm the passengers, but instead gently blend into the environment of the cabin, providing a calm, refreshing, or energizing effect, depending on the fragrance chosen. And these perfume dispensers are far more advanced than a simple air freshener you might buy at a convenience store, because they're integrated into the car's climate control system, allowing the driver to select from multiple fragrance cartridges, adjust the intensity of the scent, and even synchronize it with different driving modes or climate settings. Meaning that when you switch your car into sport mode, you might choose a fragrance that's sharp, vibrant, and invigorating, while in comfort mode, you might prefer something soft, soothing, and relaxing. And the engineering behind this is extraordinary because it requires designing cartridges that can hold liquid or gel-based fragrances in a way that is safe, long-lasting, and easy to replace, while also ensuring that the scent disperses evenly throughout the cabin without leaving residue, staining fabrics, or losing its potency over time. And to achieve this, manufacturers have worked with fragrance specialists, even luxury perfume houses, to craft exclusive scents specifically tailored to the driving experience, often offering a range of options from floral, woody, citrus, or musky profiles, giving drivers a curated olfactory palette to choose from. And if we think about the psychology behind this, it's even more fascinating, because scent has been proven to reduce anxiety, improve alertness, and even make enclosed spaces feel more open and pleasant, which is particularly relevant for cars where people spend hours daily in traffic, long commutes, or road trips. And in fact, some studies show that certain scents can help drivers remain more focused and less fatigued, which directly ties into road safety. So in a way, a built-in perfume dispenser is not just a luxury gimmick, but a potential wellness feature that improves the overall driving experience. And as luxury cars evolve into high-tech sanctuaries on wheels, filled with massaging seats, ambient lighting, panoramic displays, and AI-driven assistants, the perfume dispenser is another layer of personalization that completes the sensory cocoon, making drivers and passengers feel like they are not merely sitting in a car, but stepping into their own mobile lounge, where the outside world with all its stress and chaos is shut out, replaced by an interior atmosphere carefully crafted to uplift the senses. And let's not forget the design language surrounding these dispensers, because in some cars, the fragrance cartridges are stored in beautifully designed glass vials, often housed in illuminated compartments, almost like pieces of jewelry on display, emphasizing the craftsmanship and exclusivity of the feature. And in certain flagship models, owners can even work with fragrance designers to create custom scents that reflect their personal style, lifestyle, or even mood, making their car not just a machine but a signature expression of who they are, which is exactly what level is all about. And the fascinating part is how this technology continues to evolve, because what started as a novelty in premium cars has now become a feature that is gradually trickling down into more affordable segments, as mid-range car makers experiment with simpler integrated scent systems, recognizing that customers increasingly value personalization, comfort, and wellness-oriented features. And the future might hold even more advanced possibilities, like AI-driven fragrance selection, where the car can detect the driver's stress levels, heart rate, or mood through biometric sensors, and automatically choose a fragrance to help calm, energize, or focus the driver, or even pair scents with navigation so that when you're heading to a romantic evening dinner, the car fills the cabin with a luxurious floral fragrance, while on a morning commute, It selects something fresh and citrusy to energize you. And if we look at how consumers are responding, the reception has been overwhelmingly positive, because it's not just about status but about how people feel inside their vehicles. And in today's fast-paced world, where we spend so much time behind the wheel, having a feature that enhances mood and comfort is more valuable than ever. And of course, there are skeptics who might say that a perfume dispenser is unnecessary or over the top. But the truth is that luxury has always been about going beyond necessity and creating experiences that surprise and delight. And just like heated seats, power windows, or infotainment systems were once considered unnecessary luxuries but are now standard, it's very possible that scent systems in cars will one day become a common feature that people expect, especially as wellness and personalization continue to dominate consumer demand. And let's take a closer look at the mechanics too. Because the cartridges used in these dispensers are usually designed to last for weeks or even months depending on usage, and can be easily swapped out at dealerships or by owners themselves, often stored in compact slots within the glove box or center console, connected to tiny vents that mix the fragrance with the air conditioning system, dispersing it evenly throughout the cabin. And some systems even allow the driver to turn the scent on or off at will, adjusting it with a simple button on the infotainment display, or through voice commands, making it intuitive and seamless. And when combined with other features like customizable ambient lighting, climate-controlled seats, and advanced sound systems, it creates a multi-sensory environment that no traditional air freshener could ever match. Because those cheap dangling air fresheners or dashboard sprays are crude, overpowering, and often short-lived, while a built-in perfume dispenser is precise, subtle, and deeply integrated into the vehicle's design philosophy. And beyond comfort, there's also a branding aspect, because car makers know that scent is a powerful tool in building identity. So just like hotels or boutiques often use signature scents to create memorable experiences, automakers are beginning to use fragrance as a way of creating a lasting impression, meaning that when someone steps into a certain brand's car, the unique fragrance becomes part of their memory of that brand, strengthening emotional connection and loyalty. And this level of attention to detail shows just how far the automotive industry is willing to go in creating not just vehicles, but lifestyle statements, because in the end, a car like this is not just about getting from point A to point B, but about how you feel along the way. And when every drive becomes a chance to breathe in a carefully curated scent that relaxes you, energizes you, or even inspires you, suddenly the car becomes more than transportation. It becomes an extension of your personality, a private sanctuary, and a luxury experience unlike any other, which is why the Built-In Perfume Dispenser is not just a clever gadget, but a symbol of how cars are evolving into spaces that prioritize human experience. And as we look ahead into the next generation of vehicles, especially with the rise of electric and autonomous cars, where silence, comfort, and interior ambience will matter even more, the role of fragrance in shaping the cabin experience will likely become even more significant. Because when the car is driving itself, and passengers are free to relax, work, or socialize, the atmosphere inside the cabin will be everything, and scent will play a major role in defining that. Which means that the built-in perfume dispenser is not just a luxury of today but a foundation for the automotive experiences of tomorrow, where every detail, down to the very air you breathe, is carefully designed to give you the ultimate journey, making this innovation one of the most underrated yet revolutionary features in modern car design.